Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today, May the 29th of 2026, and the top crypto news is as follows. We start today's episode from France, where regulatory authorities in France have set a deadline until June 30th for licensing companies with MiCA. And this isn't something only France is doing. All countries in the European Union have until June 30th to license any company. So time is running short, as you understand. And speaking of France, we'll also go to a French semiconductor company, Sequans Communications, which is a company that was buying Bitcoin, but now, from what we understand, will sell its 658 Bitcoin, which are worth $48 million, and will dedicate itself, as it says, more to what it does best, making semiconductors. From France, we'll now go to our ETFs and start with VanEck, which is launching the first American spot BNB ETF on Nasdaq. So another ETF in the crypto market. And continuing with our ETFs, we'll also go to Hyperliquid ETFs, where Hyperliquid is ready to acquire its third ETF from Grayscale. Specifically, Grayscale stated that it may sell shares in the Hyperliquid staking ETF for about 2 million hype coins, valued at 115 million. The potential investor is a company called Hyper Holdings Global, about which we don't know very many things. So Grayscale is looking to see what the money will be for its ETF's seed phase. And Hyperliquid itself will acquire very soon its third ETF in the market. To complete our coverage of Hyperliquid, since we brought it up, we'll also go to its internal market, and we'll see the SpaceX tokens before the company's IPO, where the price of this token dropped sharply. The token fell 45%, liquidating positions of $1.5 million, all of this in 30 minutes. From this move, 405 users were liquidated, 1,493 positions were lost, erasing $1.51 million from the market. Since we're now on our tokens and leaving Hyperliquid, we'll go to SUI, which told us yesterday afternoon at around 5:30 that its network stopped. It stopped functioning. According to the data we have, the network was down for about 6 hours, and they simply announced that they released an upgrade to essentially solve the problem, without giving details about what exactly went wrong. Only very few things that it was a bug in how gas fees are calculated, from what I understand. And for exactly this reason, SUI's price is down 16% on the 7-day chart. Obviously, the drop isn't only due to the network outage. The Bitcoin drop has also helped bring SUI so low. And since I mentioned Bitcoin, we'll go to our beloved crypto market with Bitcoin at $73,000, with the price holding for now and not retreating further. Let's say now that from this drop we had down to $72,000. We had liquidations that reached close to $1 billion, and I think this drop was ultimately triggered by leverage, as within 60 minutes, leveraged positions worth $230 million were liquidated, and because a lot of money was lost in a short time period, this pressured the price downward very much. Let's say now that Bitcoin during this period isn't following the S&P 500 and traditional American markets at all, where the S&P 500 made a new all-time high at 7,563 units, and during this period is simply rising. Let's say now that from what I saw in recent days, Bitcoin apparently follows the Asian market more, as we have 3 Asian indices which had fallen. We'll start with Taiwan's stock exchange, which fell 3%, South Korea's KOSPI index, which also fell 3%, and we'll finish with Japan's Nikkei index, which declined 1.5%. So in recent days, Bitcoin apparently follows Asia more. Looking now at America's numbers, the PCE core year-over-year came out and ultimately wasn't worse than expected. It was exactly 3.3%, which was the number they expected. But good or bad doesn't mean these are good numbers either. To give you a summary, we have America's CPI at 3.8%, higher than May 2023. We have PCE 3.8% higher than May 2023, and we also have PPI at 6% higher than March 2023. Three very important numbers showing that inflation in America is simply rising, something the Fed told us a few weeks ago in its official documents. Now, regarding Asia and specifically the war, America and Iran, let me tell you that they appear to have reached a 60-day ceasefire agreement, and the only thing expected is final approval from President Trump for this 60-day ceasefire to exist and for more substantial discussions to begin to end the war. This doesn't mean it ended. More details you can find at x.cryptonia, and naturally from this, news oil has gone to $88. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, May the 29th of 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.